After a long journey, you will return back home a completely different person. The presenters of our program, Anton Dukravet and Zhuldyz continue their journey through the unexplored expanses of Kazakhstan. In the last issue, they visited the Karton-Karagay Reserve, tasted the healing Altai honey, tried fishing on Lake Yazevoye, and visited the very edge of the Ustyurt Plateau. This natural formation is called a chink. The nature has created an unearthly landscape in white chalk colors. Today's trip promises to be no less fascinating. The first film crew, led by Anton, will travel to the Rachmanov Springs. The second film crew will go to the final destination in western Kazakhstan, the Ustyurt National Park, where we can meet wild and dangerous animals. Are you ready for another adventure? Then sit back, make your TV louder and enjoy. It's a beautiful morning. Anton will travel to the Rachmanov Springs Sanatorium, where he will bathe in the springs right in the heart of the Altai Mountains. The campsite is located in the Karton-Karagay National Park, 450 kilometers from the city of Oskame. Nearby is the border with Russia, China and Mongolia. So among the guests of the sanatorium, there are not only the travelers from Kazakhstan but also visitors from other countries. Our second crew is still in Mangistau region. Today they are completing their journey in western Kazakhstan, where they visit to the Ustyurt National Park. The rare landscape that you cannot find anywhere else in the world. The local nature is unique, although it is a desert, yet it's beautiful and unusual. Many tourists come here to enjoy these magnificent landscapes. The place seems completely lifeless. There is not a single reservoir or river on the surface. The climate is dry and harsh. Precipitation falls only in winter and autumn, and it's not more than 120 millimeters. Summers are hot, with the average air temperature around 30 degrees Celsius. Paradoxically, there are wells or springs at every turn. There are strong undercurrents with fresh water. The Ustyurt State Reserve is located in Yeraleyev district of Mangistau region. The absolute height ranges between 50 and 3,000 meters. The total area of the national park is 223,300 hectares. The reserve was established in 1984. Surprisingly, 600 species of various plants grow in this arid area. Some of them are listed in the Red Book. They are hog-tied euphorbia, toothless crab and kiva hodgepodge. The fauna here is interesting too. The fauna of the reserve features various species of snakes and lizards, among which there are rare species of geckos that live only in the Ustyurt. Vultures, snake eaters, golden eagles and steppe eagles present the bird population. There are several types of jerboas, sandstone hare and others. In general, there are about 44 mammal species registered in the reserve. Here you can watch the life of the wild animals. Very often, photographers and scientists from different countries come here and conduct various studies. It seems that during our journey through the valleys of the immense Kazakhstan, both of our film crews completely lost their habit of civilization. This was interrupted by a message received on Anton's phone. There is service. Where are we? Hello? I have coverage here.
Люди, сотовая связь, люди.
For the first time, the sanatorium opened its doors in 1964, and to this day it is one of the most popular recreational places among the Kazakh people. Every year, more and more tourists come here. The sanatorium has all the comfortable conditions, great level of service, healthy food, and the latest medical equipment. It is surprising how the modern resort has been able to maintain harmony with nature. Mostly people who come here get all-inclusive packages from travel agencies. This includes 3 meals a day, accommodation, health procedures, bike and boat rental, several excursions. And most importantly, the resort is open all year round. It has a huge territory. We will need to talk to someone to find out more about the sanatorium in detail. Oh, hello. Do you work here? I'm the administrator of the sanatorium. My name is Kimbat. I have a couple of questions. How can a visitor get admitted to the resort? 12-day trips are available for the visitors. There is a transfer from Oskamen, or you can get here on your own. So we're here. If there are rooms available, we will let you in. The main goal of the local recreation is unity with the nature. Tourists live in small, fully equipped wooden houses. Our film crew will stay in one of these too. This house is considered a double suite, but it has 2 more beds additionally. Everything is made from wood. Here is the hall. Sofas can be moved apart for families with children. The whole family can be accommodated here. How cozy it is here! Coming here, consider one important point. The resort is located in the border zone. So if you come here without a travel certificate, you must make sure to have a separately issued pass. Its cost depends on the time of filling the application for registration. So 45 days before the trip, the price will be 4,500 tenge. The highest rate just before the trip will amount to 12,000 tenge. Prices for accommodation and the cottage start at 7,000 tenge. It all depends on the number of people. The resort is children-friendly with special entertainment zones and various activities. Wow, what is this? It is a radon spring with drinking water. And can I drink it? Yes, of course. Is it good? It has a healing medicinal effect. Do you recommend it? I feel scared of trying it. It is good, huh? I had heartburn last year. It's been healed. Generally, the Rachmanov springs and the air here have radon. Well, okay, I trust you. People have learned that radon water is good for health only recently. The chemical element was discovered at the beginning of the 20th century, and in spite of its danger, radon began to be used in traditional medicine, later called radon therapy, which quickly became popular.
Странный вкус такой. Вроде бы есть, и вроде как его нету.
Минералка без газа.
Radon is the heaviest and the most expensive gas found in the nature. After taking a radon bath, a thin film is formed on the body which has healing properties. The first film crew members are preparing for recovery from the long travel in the healing Rachmanov Springs. But the second group is running out of energy under the hot sun of western Kazakhstan. This trip is a real test of endurance for the team. They have been out here for almost a week without meeting a single soul. So you can imagine their joy when, in the middle of a cruel desert, the team met a group of photographers. There are a lot of beautiful locations, and at any time of the day you can shoot something interesting, something bright. I like being here. It's unique. Of course, to make good photos, you need some experience. This is our 3rd time coming here. The main goal of the expedition is popularizing the touristic places of the country. Kazakh journalists and bloggers are exploring the cosmic landscapes of the Ustut Plateau. To be honest, we see a large number of photos on the social media, Instagram, Facebook, but they are of mediocre quality. and so people do not quite understand why they should come here.
Понимают, зачем сюда ехать, что здесь делать.
But one should come here for fantastic shots. We would like to remind you about our photo contest. Take a picture in Mangistau region, post it on the social media with hashtag acrossthekazakhland and get a chance to win valuable prizes. And if you're just going to these places, here are some tips from a professional photographer.
Очень важный момент, что люди едут на природу, и они не понимают, как.
One very important point. People go into the nature to take some pictures, but they do not prepare enough. They do not understand that they should think through their look. They need clothes of bright and bold colors, but many people don't know that.
Они не готовы к тому, чтобы сниматься на такой красоте.
Zhuldyz got the opportunity to have her own photo shoot in the middle of these beautiful landscapes. Lucky her, she will have plenty of great photos to bring home. In the meantime, Anton is ready for his water treatments. Radon baths have a positive effect on the central nervous system. They can reduce pain and normalize the work of the cardiovascular system. And this is necessary for those like Anton who have been on the road for too long. It's a very much needed and timely procedure. There are only 10 such springs across the world. Of course, tourists from all over the world come here. They come from Australia, Japan and even North America. This spring water comes right out of the earth. And if you notice the bubbles on the surface, this is the radon. By its chemical composition, the spring water here is close to the waters of the resorts of Belokurica in Russia and of Georgian Tkaltubo. Water temperature ranges from 34 to 40 degrees. People come here to normalize the work of the musculoskeletal system and to treat some gynecological diseases. The stone is called a female stone. It heals the women who have fertility problems. Well, I'm not a woman, so I will not sit here. The recommended duration for taking a radon bath is 10 minutes. So it's time to finish the medical procedure, otherwise the effect may be the opposite. The second film crew would enjoy the radon baths if they had the opportunity. But they are in the deserts of Mangistau region. In the ancient times, trade caravans passed through the Ustyurt Plateau, creating new cities along the route. The remains of the city of Shakir Vazir, the caravanserai of Beneolei and the fortress of Alan are some of the main attractions of the plateau today. In antiquity, the area also served to transport goods from the sea to land and back. Active maritime trade continued until the 17th century. Today, there is not a soul here. The territory belongs only to its masters, the wild animals. Here you can meet a cheetah. This magnificent wild cat roams through this desert at the speed of up to 90 km per hour. They say that cheetahs in Ustyurt are becoming extinct, but local residents say the opposite. Another major wild cat in the reserve is caracal. The animal is a bit like a lynx. Often caracal can be found on the Ustyurt huts or on the sands. The national park is also home to a manul, a small wild cat. All these species are red-listed, respectively hunting them is strictly forbidden. There are 3 species of artiodactyls in the national park. Saigars appear here in the winter. This is the first and so far the only reserve in Kazakhstan where saigars are protected. Gazelles and a rare type of Ustyurt mouflon live here. This small mountain sheep inhabits only the desert lowlands of the Trans-Caspian. The nature of the reserve is not only in its natural pristine beauty. Archaeological monuments, mausoleums and mazars are scattered throughout its territory.
Конечно, есть потенциал и с точки зрения...
Of course, there is a great potential in cultural, ethnographic and wild nature tourism here.
Вещи порой тоже уникальные, которые...
These places have kept traditions. There are holy places and historical sites that date back to antiquity.
И святые места, которые...
There is a strong tradition of honoring holy sites and archaeological antiquity, monuments of history and archaeology.
Наверное, конечно, и памятники истории, памятники археологии.
You can follow our journey on the social networks with the hashtag acrossthekazakhland. Don't miss all the fun.
Да-да. Именно. Так.
A cup of fresh green tea is the perfect end to a day. The sanatorium medical staff develops a special treatment course for every patient individually. Patients first take all the necessary tests and undergo a full examination, as there are limitations to taking radon baths.
После всех процедур
After all the procedures, we decided to talk with a senior nurse,
корпуса участковой,
Gulchakra Gaibuloevna. Thank you for taking care of us.
что вы уделили нам внимание. Есть ли какие-то просьбы?
Are there any limitations? Of course there are. There are cases when patients are recommended against being here. Radon stimulates the entire body and it can also stimulate the growth of tumors.
Он также может и эту опухоль простимулировать.
By the way, people come here not only for treatment with radon baths. For Anton, the staff has prepared a whole program of health procedures. Well, we wouldn't recommend you anything before trying it ourselves.
У нас есть душевая кафедра, тоже все это на родном.
We have radon showers.
Затем физиолечение, грязелечение.
Парафитосауна. Я уже видел.
Обязательно.
Paraphyte sauna is a very good procedure as well.
Очень хорошая
Я
процедура.
теперь мечтаю.
I saw all of it with my own eyes.
Мечтаю там побывать внутри.
Мы вас
We are
ждем.
waiting for you.
Спасибо.
Thank you.
Спасибо большое.
While Anton is enjoying a well-deserved rest, we are going to Zhuldyz, in the western part of Kazakhstan. What is it? We cannot believe our eyes. In the lifeless desert, a whole village suddenly grew, called Kogaz. This is a real oasis in the steppe. Here there are all the conditions for the traveler. A pool, gazebos, and most importantly, a real yurt instead of the usual rooms, where you can spend the night as a real nomad. Guests are welcomed in the national traditions. Folk art evenings with dances, food and dombra performances are organized for the guests.
Всегда у нас для гостей приготовлено
We always have national dishes prepared for our guests,
по заказу. Ну, в первую очередь,
including baosaks, shubat, kumirs.
камызы. Вот.
We're happy to welcome all the guests. The area of Ethno Owl is 6 hectares. Yurts are fully furnished in the traditional style. The decorations were purchased from the local
И
artisans.
каждая юрта у нас
Every yurt has lighting, sockets where you can charge your phone and gadgets.
могли подзарядить.
In summer, we put air conditioners inside the
В
yurts.
жаркое время установлен кондиционер.
And if you want to spend the night alone in a yurt, how much will it
Для
cost?
вас это будет переносить.
For you, it will cost 5,000 tenge.
Должны заплатить в администрацию 5000 тенге.
Nearby, there is a cafe where you can order any dish for breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
Наши блюда заказываем.
We order the dishes from the local population. They prepare for us shubat, kumirs, balkaimak, kurt, and all other national dishes.
Для нас готовят чистые.
More than 600 plants were planted on the territory of the Ethno Owl. For visitors, develop tourist routes. Especially popular is Shakala, which is revered as sacred among the locals.
А есть ли услуги, например,
Are there any services to ride a camel?
Для верблюда мы в следующем году, конечно,
Yes, this is what we are planning next year. And this year we have 7 horses.
лошадей. Закупили мы 7 лошадей. Они наездные, то есть любой может ребенок
Anyone, a child or an adult, can ride it without fear.
находиться человек.
Nearby there will be a person who advises, will roll them, and will be next to them.
классно как?
How much does it cost?
Лошади у нас дается, если человек...
If a person wants to ride on its own without an instructor in the mountains or on the hills, then 500 tenge.
Лошадь, то есть уже подготовленная, 500 тенге.
Now Zhuldyz will have something to do until the evening, and Anton, meanwhile, is already ready to try on himself all the healing properties of radon sources. I feel the steam. I got into the phyto steam sauna. Great feeling. It's all in the name of the art, of course. Terrible suffering. This procedure lasts 15 to 20 minutes. It all depends on your choice. However, it is worth remembering that only in the first 10 minutes toxins are actively excreted from the body. Further, within 5 minutes, useful substances are absorbed. After the same is overheating. It is important to understand that during such a procedure, there is a strong pressure on the body. It is recommended to take phytosauna 1 to 2 times a week. It is better than a bath, yes. Friends, our journey continues. We are at the Rachmanov Springs. I remind you that you can follow our journey through the hashtag #acrossthekazakhland. My name is Anton Dukravets and I feel like a man. The next morning the team met Anton at the Rachmanov Springs. Our presenter has tried all the wellness procedures and is now heading towards the lake, which according to its nature has healing properties. There are a few mountain lakes in the Kanton-Karagai Reserve, but Lake Rachmanov is considered the most picturesque one. This lake stretches among steep wooded cliffs. From the bird's eye view it resembles a sleeping bear. The Great Rachmanov Lake, with an area of no more than 1 square kilometer. It is located at the altitude of 1,760 meters above sea level. Its depth is 30 meters. It is located here in the narrow gorge. The water here is so clear that you can see at a depth of 7 meters. But this lake is considered dead by the locals, and there is some kind of an air cushion where an old man lives. If you swim to the center of the lake, it will drag you by your leg. But this is very strange because we have already seen fish and even fed some fish. And all this thanks to a local resident who decided to prove that the fish could still survive in this lake. In fact, there are all the necessary conditions for the living creatures, but they could not get into the lake because of the numerous waterfalls. And then a man caught fish in the nearby Lake Yazievoye and brought it here. Today, grayling, perch, roach and mead live in Lake Rachmanov. Fishing is not prohibited, but fishing license is required. In July, the water temperature ranges from 10 to 12 degrees. Cold alpine springs flow into the lake. Only the brave ones with excellent health can swim here. Anton's journey in the Rachmanov Springs comes to an end, but he has a final thing to do here. To make sure I get the whole range of impressions here, I decided to have a massage. After several days of traveling, lying on a massage table is divine.
После нескольких дней путешествия лежать на столе — это божественно.
Anton, remember these sensations, because you still have a long way to go away from civilization and home. Altai is the land of untouched nature. They say that having been here at least once in your life, you return here again and again. Majestic cedars, mysterious lakes, ringing waterfalls, mighty mountains. The sunrises and sunsets are such that they will capture your heart forever. Altai is a sanctuary for a peace of mind. The fascinating nature of Western Kazakhstan with its diversity attracts curious tourists from all over the globe. Wild sandy beaches of the Caspian Sea and cosmic landscapes of the Ustyu Plateau will leave lasting impressions. Those who have never been in these parts of the country should definitely plan a trip here. Explore the unknown Kazakhstan together with us. That's all for today, but our journey continues. Follow our latest news on the social media with the hashtag #acrossthekazakhland. See you soon.